Thousands of years ago, in a world very different from ours, a man received a warning that would change the course of human history forever. That man was Noah. According to the book of Genesis, humanity had become deeply corrupt. Violence filled the earth. Society had descended into moral chaos. But among all people alive at the time, one man stood out. Noah was described as righteous in his generation, and because of that, he was chosen for an impossible mission. God told Noah that a catastrophic flood would soon cover the entire earth. Every living creature outside a special vessel would perish. That vessel would become known as Noah's Ark. But what most people never stop to ask is this: how exactly was the ark built? What tools did Noah use? How long did construction take? What kind of wood was used? And how could a single family build one of the largest ships in the ancient world? The answers lie hidden inside the details of the biblical text. Let's begin with the design itself. Unlike ordinary ships built by human engineers, the ark's design came directly from God. In the book of Genesis, Noah receives extremely specific instructions. The ark was to measure 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, 30 cubits high. But what exactly is a cubit? A cubit was an ancient measurement roughly equal to the distance from a man's elbow to the tip of his fingers, about 18 inches or 45 centimeters. When converted into modern measurements, the ark becomes astonishingly large. It would have been approximately 450 feet long, 137 meters, 75 feet wide, 23 meters, 45 feet high, 13.5 meters. To understand how massive this is, imagine a modern cargo ship or a large football field. The ark was longer than many ancient wooden ships ever constructed. For centuries, critics argued such a ship could never have been built using ancient technology. But modern engineering studies have shown something remarkable. Naval architects discovered that the ark's proportions, 6:1 length-to-width ratio, are extremely stable for massive vessels designed to carry heavy cargo. In fact, many modern cargo ships use a very similar ratio today. This suggests the ark wasn't meant to sail like a normal ship. It was designed to float safely through violent waters. Genesis gives another unusual detail. God told Noah to build the ark using gopher wood. The problem is that historians today are not entirely certain what gopher wood actually was. Some scholars believe it may have referred to cypress wood, which is highly resistant to rot and insects. Others think it may have been a type of laminated wood structure, where multiple layers were glued together with pitch for strength. Cypress would have been ideal. It grows tall, straight, and contains natural oils that protect it from water damage. Even today, cypress wood is used in boat building because it resists decay. But the wood alone was not enough. The ark also had to be waterproof. God instructed Noah to coat the ark with pitch, both inside and outside. Pitch is a thick tar-like substance used in ancient shipbuilding to seal wood from water. Interestingly, the Hebrew word used in Genesis for pitch is kopher. It comes from the same root word used for atonement or covering in the Bible. In a symbolic sense, the ark was not just physically sealed from water, it was spiritually a place of protection. Pitch would have filled every crack between wooden boards. This made the ark completely waterproof. Archaeologists have discovered that ancient civilizations like the Babylonian civilization and Sumerian civilization used very similar tar-based waterproofing methods thousands of years ago. Large basket boats covered in pitch have even been found preserved in ancient Mesopotamian ruins. This shows the Ark's construction was technologically possible in the ancient world. But there was another challenge: ventilation. Genesis tells us the Ark had a window running along the top of the vessel. This opening was placed 1 cubit below the roof. That small detail is actually very important. Imagine thousands of animals inside a sealed wooden structure for months. Without airflow, the Ark would have quickly become uninhabitable. But a long roof-level opening would allow warm air and gases to escape, while fresh air circulated throughout the interior. Essentially, it acted like a natural ventilation system. Even modern livestock barns use similar ventilation designs today. This allowed animals and humans to survive the long months inside the Ark. The Ark was also divided into 3 internal decks. This created enormous storage space. Engineers estimate the Ark's total internal volume at around 1.5 million cubic feet. To understand how big that is, it's roughly equivalent to 520 railroad livestock cars. That amount of space could hold thousands of animals plus massive amounts of food and water. Critics often ask how Noah could possibly fit all animals on board. But the Bible does not say every species had to enter the Ark. Instead, representatives of animal kinds were brought aboard. Many scientists estimate that this number could have been far smaller than modern species counts. With 3 decks and thousands of storage compartments, the Ark had more than enough space. But one question still remains: how could Noah possibly build something this massive? The Bible tells us Noah had 3 sons: Shem, Ham, Japheth. Together with their wives, Noah's family consisted of 8 people. Many imagine only these 8 building the Ark. But the text never actually says they worked alone. Construction likely took many decades. Genesis indicates Noah was 500 years old when his sons were born and 600 years old when the flood began. This means the Ark may have taken up to 100 years to complete. During that time, it is possible hired laborers, craftsmen, and builders helped with the construction. But here is the striking part. Despite the enormous size of the project, no one believed Noah's warning about the coming flood. People saw the Ark being built for decades, yet they ignored the message. The Ark stood as a silent warning to the world, a warning that very few took seriously. Finally, Genesis describes one last critical feature. The Ark had only one door, one entrance, one way in. And when the animals and Noah's family finally entered, something extraordinary happened. The Bible says God himself shut the door, not Noah. This moment marked the point of no return. Outside the Ark, the world continued as usual. People were eating, drinking, and living their lives. Until the rain began. Rain started falling. But the rain was only part of the catastrophe. The Bible also says the fountains of the great deep burst forth. Many scholars believe this refers to massive underground water reservoirs erupting through the Earth's crust. Water rose rapidly. Rivers overflowed. Valleys disappeared beneath rising seas. Within days, the Ark lifted off the ground and began to float. The flood lasted 40 days and 40 nights of intense rainfall. But the Ark would have continued drifting for months afterward. Storms likely battered the vessel from every direction. Yet the Ark's design was perfect for survival. Remember its proportions: a 6-to-1 length-to-width ratio. Modern engineers have tested these exact dimensions in wave simulations. The results were surprising. The Ark's shape would have been extremely stable in turbulent waters. Instead of trying to sail or steer, the Ark simply floated, riding the waves like a giant survival barge. Its enormous mass would have helped resist capsizing. The curved hull and wide base allowed it to remain upright, even in violent storms. For months, Noah's family waited, floating in a world covered entirely by water. The floodwaters did not disappear quickly. According to Genesis, Noah and his family remained inside the ark for over a year. During this time, life inside the ark continued. Animals were fed. Water was collected. The family maintained the vessel. Eventually, something remarkable happened. The ark stopped moving. After months of drifting, it had run aground. The Bible tells us it came to rest on the mountains of Mount Ararat. This region lies in modern eastern Turkey, a rugged mountainous area covered with snow for much of the year. For centuries, explorers and historians have wondered, could the remains of the ark still be there? Throughout history, many explorers have claimed to see unusual structures on the slopes of Mount Ararat. In the 20th century, aerial photographs captured strange shapes embedded in the ice. One famous location, known as the Durupinar site, has been studied by researchers who believe the formation resembles the exact dimensions of the ark described in Genesis. However, the evidence remains debated among scientists. Harsh weather, political restrictions, and difficult terrain have made full excavation extremely challenging. Some believe the ark's remains may still lie buried beneath layers of ice and volcanic rock. Others believe the wooden structure decayed long ago. But the mystery continues to attract researchers from around the world. Whether the ark will ever be fully discovered or not, its story has continued to echo through human history. The ark represents survival, hope, and rescue from destruction. In fact, many theologians see the ark as a symbol pointing forward to salvation itself. Just as the ark provided one way of escape from the flood, it represents the idea of divine rescue offered to humanity. 8 people entered the ark and survived. Outside it, the world was lost. That powerful image has been remembered for thousands of years. But the story of Noah's Ark raises even bigger questions. Did a global flood truly occur? Why do flood legends appear in ancient cultures across the world? And could modern geology still contain hidden evidence of the greatest catastrophe in human history? Those mysteries continue to challenge historians, archaeologists, and scientists today. And perhaps, one day, the mountains of Mount Ararat may finally reveal the truth.